All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Los Angeles Rams rookie linebacker Omar Speights. Spates has been a surprise to say the least this year for the Los Angeles Rams. He absolutely has come out of nowhere and been a quality player on defense for them, and he has a bright future for this LA squad. We'll break down some of the good things he's doing. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, first play here against the Buffalo Bills. There's Spates right there at the off-ball linebacker position. This is going to be a really cool design here by the Los Angeles Rams defensively. So they do basically a gap responsibility swap. So you can see inside where the linebackers and defensive linemen end up. You can kind of see how normally gap assignments would go. So for example, this defensive lineman right here, his gap would be this gap. He's lined up there. Linebacker would be this gap. This defensive tackle would take this gap. Spates would take this gap, and you got your edge defender over here, right? That's just normal gap assignment, how you would expect. But the Rams do an interesting switch here to really confuse the offense, and it works out really well. So this defensive tackle, he actually takes this gap right here. Spates is then going to fly down in here, and then this linebacker is going to flow over the top and take that gap. It's a really creative structure that blows up the running play. I love to see stuff like this, but you need guys that can execute at a high level and aren't afraid to throw their hat into the fray. Spates can do both. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the defensive lineman. He jumps all the way to the left, again, taking the opposite gap. You can see Spates flying up right away, right? He's basically replacing this defensive lineman, gets down in there, jumps inside, and you can see the linebacker scrape over the top. And there the Rams are. They've got the running back perfectly circled. Awesome assignment. Let's look at Spates here. Takes on the contact right there. He looks swallowed up, right? He did his job. He's in his gap, doing okay, but he still fights through and makes the play. That's what's awesome about this young kid, right? Not only does he do a great job with his assignments, not only does he throw his body around with reckless abandon, he also fights for every inch, trying to get to the football, creating plays for this defense. He is an exciting piece to this Rams front. All right, let's take a look at it from the wide copy. Watch Spates jump inside. Again, he's right on 64, a huge offensive lineman right there. I see a lot of linebackers, certainly undersized ones like Spates is, get buried, get pancake, get caught in the trash, but he fights through, ends up being part of the tackle. It's this kind of feistiness and effort that really jumps off the tape, right? We know the Rams, they got a lot of great young talent, Versk, Fisk, Kobe Turner, Young. We got so many good guys up front, especially on the front four. But I tell you what, Spates is quietly becoming a really nice player in his own right, coming out of nowhere, being undrafted. All right, we're going to switch back to the Saints matchup just because I think Spates did so many good things. There he is right there on linebacker on the right side of your screen. So the Saints here are going to run a downhill concept. They're going to get everybody blocking down just like this. Everybody blocking down, everyone blocking down. 46 kicking out. They're going to pull the backside guard to lead through the hole just like this. And guys like Verse, you can see him here, Jared Verse. He's a great player. He blows his play up, takes up two guys. But I want you guys to watch Omar Speights right here because number 75, the left tackle, has a clear shot, has him dead to rights. Speights makes a miss like it's nothing, and he ends up being part of the play as well. Great rep from 48. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see everyone blocking down. You can see the guard pulling around 46, trying to kick out there. Let's watch Jared Verse for a second, folks. Watch him beat 87, blow through 51, and make the play. That's awesome stuff. I tell you what, guys, number 8, we talk about him all the time on this channel. He is such a good player. He's an all-pro already. He's just going to get better and better. What an awesome pick by the Los Angeles Rams. But 48's not bad in his own right, guys. Watch him duck under 75, right? 75's got him dead to rights. Spades ducks underneath and is part of the tackle in his own right. Nice job. And now let's say Jared Verse isn't a good football player. Let's say he gets blocked by 87, and say 51 gets up on the 56 right here, and the Saints seal off everything right here. They got both these guys blocked. Spates makes the play in his own right. He's right there. And this is the stuff that doesn't show up when you're watching the broadcast, right? Everyone sees Jared Verse make the play or Fisk make the play, and they're like, boy, those guys are good. And they really, really are. But Spates, he would have been there to make the play too, folks. And this is the thing about him that I think Rams coaches and Rams fans, you guys should notice too. It's the stuff you don't notice that really jumps off the field. He's become a really good player for this defense.
Yeah, Nick, and I think this against the Saints was definitely Spates' breakout performance. Obviously, everyone knows the incredible 94.1 defensive grade was really, really great in a lot of aspects here. Got one of his better, when we say coverage grades, pass rush grades. He's doing really great in this game, just all around. I think this was the coming out party for Spates. Did a lot of great stuff earlier in the season, but short sample size. Could he really come out and do something very incredible? I think we saw it here in this game versus the Saints. I think the Rams, surprisingly, once again, not once, not twice, but 3 times in this draft, have gotten some special players on defense.
All right, going back to the Bills matchup, there's Spates right there. You guys can see the Buffalo Bills are on the doorstep. They're right around the 2 yard line, looking to score here against the Rams defense. And here the Bills are going to just play kind of mano-a-mano zone football. They're going to have their left tackle working out to the edge. They're going to have their left guard right here try and get up to that defensive lineman. They're going to have their center try and reach 95. I believe that is Brown. Basically, they're going to take the angle of Cook working this way, and he's just going to try and pick a hole, and he's going to be one-on-one on Spates. They're going to sit there and say, hey, we think number 4 can beat 48 100 times out of 100. Now, fortunately for the Rams, you have Brown right here. He blows this play up and drops the play before it can really get going. But Spates would have made the play too. And again, stuff you're not noticing on the film when you watch the broadcast is that this guy, Omar Speights, even when he doesn't make the tackle, he's right there to make the play right where he should be. Impressive rookie. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see everyone taking their zone tracks to the left right there for the Bills. Again, the whole strategy here from Buffalo is get Cook, number 4, one-on-one on Spates, number 48. And the Buffalo Bills think that Cook will win that matchup 9 times out of 10. Now, look, 95 right here does a great job. He blows the play up, buries it in the backfield for a loss. Really nice job by his part. But look at Omar Speights here. One-on-one, he would have filled the hole right there. He's right there to make the play. Again, this is one of those things where the Bills said, all right, well, we like this matchup, but they would have lost the matchup. That's the key thing with Omar Speights. People are underrating this kid every single week. The Saints did it, and he blew him up. The Bills did it too, and Omar Speights would have blown him up with a lot more tackles if it weren't his teammates like Brown here, like Verse on some other plays, making the plays in their own right. Omar Speights, as an undrafted free agent, should not be this good. He's obviously undersized. He's got a little other things to work on too, but I tell you what, he's in the right place all the time. He ramps up. He makes the play. He's just a solid, good, fundamental football player. The Rams got another good player, young player in Omar Speights. All right, again from the wide copy. Watch how this opens up for the Bills. Remember, the Bills are trying to run a stretch here just to try and get some space to get that one-on-one matchup. Cook on Spates. 95 blows it up, so it's dead to rights. But watch Omar Speights, right? He would have been right there to make the play around the 2 yard line. No touchdown. He is where he needs to be 100 times out of 100. He is smart, savvy, flies to the football, wraps up. Every little thing you can possibly think of, Omar Speights does in spades. He's a really good player for the Rams. He's a coach's dream. His teammates love him. You talk about an undrafted steal to the extreme. That's what Omar Speights is. All right, going back to the New Orleans Saints matchup, there's Omar Speights right there. The Rams here are going to do another gap assignment switch. They're going to have this defensive lineman. Again, he is in this B gap right here. It's a terrible beat, but he's going to fly down inside. First is lined up in the C gap. He's going to fly down to the B gap, and Omar Speights is going to scrape over the top, right? This is a typical short yardage defense. You see this all the time. Again, Jared Verse does an incredible job on this play. He's absolutely ridiculous. But I tell you what, folks, Omar Speights, number 48, he does a great job in his own right, making the play as well. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see 92 going inside. You can see Jared Verse going inside. You can see Omar Speights scraping outside right here. I tell you what, early on when you watch this play, it looked like the Saints are in a great position. They got Verse pretty much reached, it looks like. They've got a body for Omar Speights, fullback leading up to the safety. This has a chance to be a really big play, right? They've got their backside center, I believe that is, getting up to the next level. Not backside center, regular center, excuse me, getting up to the next level. It looks like this is going to be a really nice run here for the New Orleans Saints. But watch 48 and number 8, this duo here. Jared Verse fights through the block, hawks down Alvin Kamara for a big play. But who starts it off? Who does the dirty work? Who does his job? Omar Speights flies over the top, beats number 70, gets in his gap, wraps up, starts the play. Omar Speights very quickly has become a key piece of this Rams defense that no one saw coming. I can't say that enough. And I know you Rams fans, I saw some of them in the comment section, like, you got to talk about Omar Speights. I'm like, yeah, undrafted guy. What's he really doing? The more I watch of Omar, the more I'm like, this dude is a player. This is not a fluke. This is not just, rookie luck or anything like that. He is going to be a stud for a long time.
Yeah, Nick, and one thing Omar Speights does really well is not only does he make tackles and get to the play, but when he does it, it always impacts the play. And game is a perfect example. We look here, season highs in both these totals right now. 9 tackles in this game by Spates. But I think the key here, when you look at it, 7 of those tackles are stops. Stops per PFF are plays that are constituted as failures for the offense. You see one here against the run game in Kamara. They get him behind the line of scrimmage, do a really great job here of just absolutely blowing up the play against the Saints. But this is what I'm talking about for Spates. 9 tackles, but 7 of those 9 tackles constitutes as stops per PFF. This is why he's so special. Gets to the ball, but he gets to it at the time as well, where he's blowing up plays. He's making plays for this Rams defense. doing some really great things. I think the Rams, again, you see Verse on this play, really great player, but Spates in his own right is becoming a monster on this defense as well.
All right, let's see Omar Speights in some pass rush. There he is at an off-ball linebacker. So the Rams do kind of a standard zone drop scheme here. You can't really see him. He's on the left edge of your screen, but there's Bryant Young. He's going to drop in his zone coverage, and they're going to slide the defensive lineman. They're going to slide him out here, and he becomes the edge rusher. They're going to take 91 Kobe Turner, run him this way. They're going to fire Omar Speights here, and they're going to get a pass rusher off the edge just like this. There's really just a two parts to this. One is you want to make the quarterback, if he's trying to throw a quick slant or something right there, you want to have someone to drop in that coverage to take it away. That's part one. And part two, you want to confuse this offensive line, pull the guard this way. So that way you basically have two rushers coming off the edge here. Ideally, you're going to get a one-on-one matchup, whether it's either the right tackle on your edge rusher or the running back on your blitzing linebacker. Omar Speights does a really good job right here. He actually gets an opportunity against number 64, beats him clean, can't quite get Josh Allen down, but causes a negative play anyway. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Young right there on the left side of your screen. I hope you can see him. He's right off the edge. He's dropping into coverage. You can see Fisk there. He's going outside. He's now the edge rusher. You can see Kobe Turner working across the guard in the center, pulling the guard this way. 64 is a vet, though. He knows what's coming. He sees 48 blitz. He comes off. He's got a chance to pick him up, but a little late. Gets by him, but he can't quite get Josh Allen down. Man, that's close. This is one thing I wish he was a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger in, but I mean, that's Josh Allen, right? He does this to everybody. He did this to, Verse and Fisk and those guys and Kobe Turner. Josh Allen's just a freaking alien, as Tony Romo likes to say. But I tell you what, it causes a little scramble drill, results in an incomplete pass. Josh Allen's all over the place. And this is what having a guy who's versatile can do, right? We've seen Omar Speights play in the run. He's a solid coverage player as well, but he can blitz and at least do solid things like this with good speed, beat a guard in the situation, get a hand on the quarterback, cause a little chaos, result in an incomplete pass, win for the Rams defense. All right, sticking with the Bills game, we're going to show just good team defense across the board and what it comes down to when you have guys that are willing to do some dirty work. You can see Spates right there in the middle of the field, right there on the hash at the linebacker position, off-ball linebacker. So the Buffalo Bills, they're going to bring a receiver in motion pre-snap to try and get some movement right here at the linebacker position. They're going to just run a downhill concept right here. They're going to do a really good job, Buffalo, is getting double team work right here inside, crashing them down just like this 3 technique right here, lined up on the outside shoulder of the guard. 79 is then going to come off on the linebacker, and 66 is going to work to cut off Spates. And again, this is not a dominant play by the Rams defense, but everyone does at least a decent job sticking with their gaps, doing their assignments, and it limits the damage. Let's check this play out. Good teamwork across the board. All right, there's the motion. There's a snap. That's a heck of a double team right there for the Buffalo Bills. They've got hats up to the next level. This has a chance to be a really nice play. Now, they have the safety flying to fill the box right there. Good job right there. But this is an opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to still really crease it if they can bend back. But here's one thing I like from both linebackers. Remember, they're flying to the left because of the motion. They got offensive linemen come at him, and what do both of them do? They take on the blocks. So many linebackers, I see it all the time, it frustrates me. They jump around blocks. They see offensive linemen come around them, they jump inside, or they try and flow over the top, and it opens up just a huge crease for the running back. Both Spates, right there, he does a good job. Again, base, maintaining his gap, good position right there, doing his assignment, and 56 as well. Both these guys across the board just doing their jobs, right? It's not pretty, it's not clean. They're not even the guys that really made the play. The safety filling in the box did. But when you have guys at the linebacker position, at defensive line, really across the board, that just do their jobs, nothing pretty, nothing special, not trying to do too much, it just limits the offense's abilities because right here, everyone does their job. Safety fills, running back has to cut back. Where's he cutting back into? Right into Omar Speights because Speights stayed in his gap. He didn't try to jump outside or do something crazy. Ends up being part of the play. Little things like this matter. We see this from veterans sometimes on really good teams like the Chiefs, the Patriots for a long time. But the fact that an undrafted free agent rookie gets it at this point in his career is a great sign for him as well.
Yeah, Nick, and another thing Omar Speights does really well, talk about, staying home, doing your job, just being a contributor to the play any way you can. One thing you got to do, especially as a young rookie coming into a defense, is not shoot this team in the foot. This was a tight game in the end versus the Buffalo Bills. One penalty could have ruined this game and had things going the other direction. That's one thing Omar Speights has not done all season. 0 penalties for the young undrafted free agent out of LSU this season. Doing really great things, playing clean football, and not shooting this Rams defense in the foot.
All right, let's end on a real great instinctual play from Omar Speights right there on the right side of your screen. So the New Orleans Saints here are going to run and play with a little misdirection. They're going to run what it looks like a standard kind of power concept like you see all the time going back 100 years, it seems like in the NFL. We're going to get double team here, working up to the next level. We're going to get backside scoops, things like this, like old school football. Now, most of the time, what would happen is the fullback would lead through the hole, maybe work up to the backside linebacker. Instead, what the Saints do, and a lot of teams like to do this, is a little misdirection there. The fullback go the opposite way. And the whole point there is to freeze the guy reading the fullback. They think it's Omar Speights in this situation, the Saints do. They sit there and say, okay, if we have the fullback go this way, Omar Speights will go this way, which will basically take him out of the play. So we can get the backside cut off, get double teams here, working up to the next level, get our block here, and Alvin Kamara can find a crease and work through it for a really nice run. But Omar Speights does a really good job here. He doesn't take the cheese and he makes the play in the backfield. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Taysom Hill going the opposite direction of everyone else from the New Orleans Saints, right? I think this is by design. I don't think this is a mistake from Taysom Hill, just because he's a really smart, savvy player, has played a lot of football. And you can see how this is supposed to work for the Saints, right? Hats on hats, double teams. They get everyone kind of reach. There's a chance this play can work, right? Alvin Kamara, not to criticize the running back, if he hits right here, running right behind 51, there's a chance he gets to, if he follows this reach block, it could be a really nice play. But watch Omar Speights. He doesn't take the cheese. He sees Taysom Hill, but he flies down inside and makes a tackle. This is really, really good instinctual football, because a lot of times some of these undrafted guys, they're so focused, like Omar Speights, on just doing good assignments, making sure they don't make any mental mistakes. They turn off their instincts sometimes, and it really frustrates me because these guys can be really good football players. Omar Speights has that special ability to turn off his instincts when necessary and to turn them on when it's time to make a play. And this is a great example of this. No matter what you look at for 48, whether it's in the run game, play side, backside, coverage, you name it. He's been so good for the Rams. Look at him from the wide copy right here. Again, he sees the fullback going the opposite direction, doesn't bite there for the cheese, jumps inside, makes a play. Again, hats on hats for the New Orleans Saints. Up front, the Rams D line is still doing pretty good. I still don't think this would have been a touchdown or anything like that, but you never know against good teams. Maybe they get this blocked up better and it is a big play. But I tell you what, Omar Speights, I just love the fact where when it's time to follow his assignment perfectly, he does. When it's time to follow his instincts, he does that as well. This is a great example of that. He is such a good linebacker. Clearly the steal, in my opinion, in terms of undrafted free agents from 2024. He's got a bright future in this Rams defense.